Hi, this is Kat Caracelo, and I want to share with you how to make a very simple, fun, completely original handheld book. And one of my favorite methods is to use 140-pound watercolor paper, a small spiral bound pad of it. Usually I like something like an 8 by 6, something in that size. And I just start with intuitive drawing, painting, scribble some words, maybe write a poem or a bit of a quote. And then I start painting and just working really loosely, quickly, non-figuratively, just laying down color and texture. And I'll work usually on a bunch of sheets all at once, doing the backs, letting them dry, then doing the fronts, and just very playful, not thinking much about what it is that I'm doing. And then I'll get a sense of maybe each page has its own theme or color, and I'll go back and I'll do some collage work on that. Or I'll cut the pages right out of the spiral so that they're loose, and I'll start to look at them and see, wow, do I want some words in here? Maybe I use some old sheet music or some old pages of a book, and then I'll paint on top of those. I might even paint around certain words so that certain words are illuminated and others are really faded out into the background. But I have a lot of fun with this, and it's really very thinking, which I like. I like not knowing what I'm doing when I'm creating. So I will continue layering and working with these pages, and then at a certain point I will fold them in half. I might tear some of the edges. I like torn edges on each side, but sometimes I don't. I sort of work with each page independently, and I think about what it feels like to me, what I think it needs. But if I tear edges, I might go back in and paint them. I may do several layers where I'm collaging and then painting on top. And then when I get ready to really see what it's going to look like in book form, I'll want to fold each page in half. And they're pretty heavy. Sometimes I need to use a bone folder or a straight edge just to get a crease and fold that page in half. And then I'll nest the pages, putting one inside the other so I can get a feel of what it looks like or feels like in terms of the images working together. Sometimes a page doesn't feel like it's in the right place, and I'll restack those pages and I'll see, does this work? Does it feel right? Does it need something else? And I'll start to get a sense of the narrative that's unfolding when I put the pages together, because of course it changes everything. All of the pages are out of order, they're coupled with different images. It really gives me a sense of something brand new emerging, that magical third entity that comes from mixed media collage, when we think we know what we're doing, and of course we don't. But that's what I love about intuitive art, about transformative arts and healing arts, is that we're embedding our stories and a little bit of ourself in every brushstroke, in every collage, in every smudge, in every word. Every time we make a mark, we're putting a bit of ourselves into the art. So it's fun to see these little handheld books emerge. And I often will, once I get them in the right order, and I feel like, wow, this feels good to me, then I'll start to think about, well, how do I want to bind it? So I love doing simple binding, something like fibers that I weave together or crochet together or braid together and just create a central tether. Or I'll stitch I'll go in and do some stitching and actually sew the pages together. And in this book, I had so much fun because it felt precious to me. There was so much mystery in this little book that I felt like it was sacred. And I wanted it to have this very involved closure. So I wanted to wrap the closure and have to go through multiple layers to even open the book. And so that was a great deal of fun for me. I really enjoyed this project. I hope you do too. And make your own tiny tale with watercolor paper, acrylic paint, watercolors, pens, markers, collage, papers, ephemera, anything that strikes your fancy, and experiment. Visit me at catcaracelo.com for more information about journey process and transformative art and depth coaching.